All right, guys, so today we're going to look at a few videos to get an idea of what to expect when you meet up with your crazy liberal relatives for the holidays. Maybe the liberal aunt who wants your daughter to share a bathroom with grown men, or your liberal cousin who shaved her head on November 6th and can't stop posting videos of herself crying. Let's get into it. Welcome to my channel, Outspoken Samantha. I appreciate you being here, whether this is the first time you have clicked on one of my videos or you are a returning supporter. Do me a couple favors, hit the thumbs up button. It really helps me in the algorithm, and also make sure that you are subscribed and turn on your notifications so that you never miss out on a conversation like the one we're about to have. So we are just a couple of days away from getting together with family and sitting down at the table for Christmas dinner with everybody that we haven't seen in a while. And a lot of you might be holding your breath, wondering how things are going to go. Will the mashed potatoes get eaten, or will they be thrown by your liberal relative who sits down and starts yelling and screaming about women's rights and calling Trump voters racists? Will you actually be able to enjoy the turkey and the cranberry sauce, or will your liberal sister sit down and before anybody can take a bite, flip the table and use the tablecloth as a tent while she camps out in the living room because she thinks it's going to save children in Palestine? Who knows? If you want to try to mentally prepare yourself so that perhaps you can take the edge off and avoid dealing with any more insanity than absolutely necessary, let's look at a couple of videos shared by libs so that perhaps you can put a game plan in place for how to respond should these antics unfold in your home this holiday season. The first thing we have to address is the presents that they might bring. Here, we have a liberal woman who is making suggestions to her audience about what to bring her MAGA relatives because apparently she thinks that these things are just going to send us over the edge. Let's have a listen.
MAGA holiday gift guide in case you're still planning to purchase something for a MAGA family member, friend, whatever for the holidays. Okay, so the first thing is Schoolhouse Rock. They sell it in a DVD edition on Amazon because I'm assuming if they're MAGA, they still use DVD players. It's great too if they have kids in their MAGA because they can all kind of like learn together at the same level. The next is this Gaydar. Um, According to my friend Jim, they sell it at Brookstone. You may have seen it on a show called The Office. That's where it like gained all its popularity. But this is good for them because a lot of times whenever they go to the bathroom, there's always like someone of a different gender in the bathroom. So this will just be good for them to like weed those people out before they use a public restroom. This one's for like the sports MAGA, anything with the number 34 on it. I'm thinking like any jersey or t-shirt with a player with the number 34. It doesn't really matter who it is. Make sure that you follow me for part 2 of MAGA holiday gifting guide.
Let's just go through these a little bit one by one. First, when it comes to the books, I'm actually a little surprised that this woman would recommend learning materials that don't involve pronouns, descriptions of sexual activity, or naked teens doing things with each other. So I can't even be offended by her insinuating that Trump voters need basic educational materials because she's suggesting something to learn from that she didn't find in an adult bookstore. So I can't even be mad about that. In fact, I would actually be grateful for this gift because we need to preserve learning materials that aren't hypersexualized because we just don't know how far the liberals are going to go with their education system and if learning materials without hypersexualized depictions are going to exist in the future. However, the suggestion that we need to use the gaydar as an alert system to keep from using the bathroom with people who have same-sex attractions and relationships proves that she's the one that needs the children's learning material. And in fact, the Schoolhouse Rock series might be above her capacity of understanding. But I do have to admit that the number 34, guys, I searched and I searched. I have no idea what that's a reference to. So please drop it in the comments and let me know what I'm missing because I have no idea what she's talking about. What I learned from her overall is that liberals clearly think that we're as easily triggered as they are because she thinks that she is armed and ready to reduce her MAGA relatives to a puddle of regret and tears, as is what liberals turn into when you even mention the big orange man in any capacity. But what she's really doing is proving to her family that she is very unhinged and disconnected from reality. My advice, if your liberal relative does anything like this, just play along. Pretend you're offended and that you're sad, because it's all they have left. In fact, this guy is going to give you an exact demonstration of how to react should you get one of the previously mentioned gifts.
Question of a right winger receiving a Christmas present that they don't like. Oh, I don't like it. Can we start a petition to get me one that I like more?
He used the hashtag comedy under this video, which I think is giving himself far too much credit, but at least you know what will suffice as an appropriate reaction and fill your liberal relative's tiny cup of joy. So just do this and they'll be happy. This woman, who I actually did feature in my last video of liberal meltdowns, is giving us a whole demonstration of what talking points your liberal relatives might bring up in an attempt to cause problems. Because as this particular woman said in another video that I showed of her, she lives to drain the joy from the room, to stir the pot, and to make people feel uncomfortable. But at least with this list, you won't be startled by the stupidity because you've already heard it. Because what these people do is get their thoughts and ideas from one source, and then they all go around repeating what they've heard nonstop. So I imagine that what this gal has provided are the exact antics that will be repeated by thousands of liberals in their homes in a couple of days. So here you go.
Who wants to play a game? Never have I ever had to Google what a tariff was.
What's it like being in a cult? Is there like a handbook, or is it just the red hats?
Okay, but wait. If Jesus came back today, would he be a Republican, or would you deport him?
I think it's so inspiring how you don't let a lack of research stop you from having an opinion.
Hey, Uncle Bob, do you miss the good old days when only your mistress could get abortions?
If Jesus handed out free healthcare today, would you call him a socialist or just crucify him again?
Nothing says welcome home like a my pillow. Because who doesn't love resting their head on a pile of right-wing conspiracy theories?
I'm glad that she finds all of that hilarious, but we know that this woman knows absolutely nothing about tariffs. And nothing says cult behavior like constantly being told you can't talk to anybody who disagrees with you, because as we all know, a cornerstone of cults is isolation and being told that it's harmful to even be exposed to ideas that don't align with yours, which defines today's leftist activists to the core. Cult-like behavior is also believing that men can be women, babies aren't human, that we live in a democracy, that women's rights are entirely tied to abortion and nothing else, and that despite believing all of those things with your whole heart and soul, you can't name one right that you've lost, define when human life begins, or articulate what threat to democracy means. Lastly, you might end up with a liberal relative who decides that caroling is the best way to disrupt the family get-together, like this woman.
Facts are shared, you're not listening, you don't care what you're missing. You drank the Kool-Aid, and now it's too late, living in a MAGA loony land. Gone away, is real thinking, here to stay, is brain shrinking. He sings a false song, yeah, you'll go along, living in a MAGA loony land. In the future, you may say you're sorry, then pretend you didn't vote for Trump. They'll say, did you do it? You'll say, no, man. But deep inside, you'll always know you did. Later on, it'll transpire. As they said, things on fire. At first, you will laugh and likely be glad. Living in a MAGA loony land.
Well, I can't listen to any more of that, but just so you know, it might happen. But in case you need something to play in response to that, here you go. On the left, facts don't matter. Speaking truth makes you shatter. You fit in a mold and repeat what you're told. Walking in a liberal bubble, and you believed that the border had been closed and it was in order. You repeated the line saying Biden was fine, walking in your liberal bubble, and in the news you heard that Trump's a bad guy, and you never questioned if it's true. You've eaten up every ounce of propaganda, which makes it that much harder to break through as you sit at your table with nothing but you and your cable. You'll never get how Trump's your president now, walking in your liberal bubble land. Well, there you have it, guys. I hope that this has helped in some way and that you feel prepared for the holiday season. Please leave your thoughts on this in the comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. It really does help me out. Make sure that you're subscribed as I'm trying to grow this channel. If you're looking for other ways to support my channel, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link in the comments below and other ways to support the channel in the description box. And of course, your generosity is always truly appreciated. Keep it real, guys. Merry Christmas, and I will see you again soon.